Over on the cryptid subreddit, a user posted a video that's sure to get your skin crawling. In the description of the post, the uploader explains that he and his friend regularly go on late-night walks and often talk about paranormal topics while they're out. One night, after the uploader left to go to the gym, his friend decided to walk home alone and took the long, spooky way, snapping random pictures along the way like they usually do. According to the post, the friend originally thought he may have photographed an animal, but after increasing the exposure of the image, they noticed something much stranger standing in the darkness. The uploader also insists the image was 100% unedited other than the exposure increase, and mentions that when they returned to the area the following night, they heard noises that made them feel like they were being followed. As you can see, there definitely appears to be something standing off in the distance, though what exactly it is remains completely unclear. The silhouette and shape of the figure look unusual enough to immediately stand out once you notice it. To me, it almost resembles the popular creepypasta turned urban legend known as the Rake, though of course it could easily be something far more ordinary as well. There is the possibility that the figure is simply a person partially obscured by darkness and the increased exposure of the image, which can sometimes make shapes appear much stranger than they really are. Still, the shape of the figure is unsettling enough to make the image difficult to completely brush off. So, what do you think this creature could be? If you have any theories or possible explanations, be sure to let me know down in the comments. On October 4th, 2015, a Ukrainian YouTube channel posted a video showing the uploader wandering around the front of Pityatsi Castle, a historic castle located in western Ukraine. At first, the footage seemed completely ordinary, simply showing the impressive exterior of the old building. But within a matter of seconds, something unusual appears to be captured on camera.
С архитектурой. Нифига себе. Андриана! Андриана!
At around the 15-second mark, a strange white figure can be seen appearing in one of the upper windows of the castle. What's especially eerie is that the figure doesn't simply appear and disappear abruptly. It seems to gradually fade into view, before later fading away again. The videographer appears to notice the figure as well, calling out someone's name several times before the video suddenly ends. Given the age and history of Pityatsi Castle, it's easy to see why some viewers immediately interpreted the figure as a ghostly apparition connected to the location. The castle itself has long been associated with paranormal legends and stories of hauntings. Not everyone is convinced, however. Some viewers have suggested that the figure could have been added digitally, possibly using visual effects and motion tracking to make it appear naturally attached to the window as the camera moves. With a clip this short, it's difficult to completely rule that possibility out. Even so, the way the figure slowly materializes and fades away is what continues to make the footage so memorable. So, what do you think was captured in the window of Pityatsi Castle that day? Was it a genuine ghostly figure or something else entirely? Reddit user Iron Baboon posted a video to the UFO subreddit, showcasing some eerie footage filmed on March 25th, 2026 at around 7 p.m. in Doha, Qatar. The clip was recorded during a thunderstorm and doesn't waste much time getting right to the strange part. Throughout this short video, 3 glowing orbs can be seen moving around in the sky in the middle of the storm. Despite the heavy weather conditions, the lights appear distinct and separate from the lightning flashing throughout the clouds. The way the orbs move is what really stands out. They don't seem to behave like flashes of lightning or random reflections, which is why many viewers immediately connected the footage to UFOs or some kind of unexplained aerial phenomenon. Of course, there's always the possibility that the lights belong to some kind of conventional aircraft or another more ordinary object in the sky. But because of this storm and the limited quality of the footage, it's nearly impossible to say for certain what's actually being captured here. Even so, the way the 3 orbs appear moving through the clouds still gives the clip a very mysterious feel. So, what do you think these mysterious lights were? Could they really be connected to UFOs, or was this something else entirely? Over on TikTok, a man named Kyle Anthony posted a piece of home security camera footage filmed inside his house late at night, during what seemed like a completely peaceful evening. Despite the video starting off normal, it doesn't take very long for things to become a little unsettling. Right around here, one of the chairs in the kitchen area suddenly appears to move all on its own. What also makes the moment interesting is that Kyle's cat doesn't really seem to react to it at all. The movement itself is subtle, but noticeable enough to immediately stand out once you see it happen. A second clip filmed later that night shows even more strange activity taking place in the kitchen. The fact that both incidents reportedly happened on the same night definitely makes the footage feel a bit more eerie, especially with objects seemingly moving without anyone nearby. Of course, there could still be a more ordinary explanation behind what's happening here, whether it's something off camera, vibrations in the house, or another detail not obvious from the footage alone. Even so, the time and movement in both clips are strange enough to leave viewers questioning it. So, what do you think was happening inside Kyle's kitchen that night? Could this really be some kind of paranormal activity, or is there another explanation behind it? On December 16th, 2025, a woman on TikTok named Abby DeWitt posted a video to her account in which she explains that her autistic son, who was still awake at 1 o'clock in the morning, suddenly began screaming that the elf moved. It's a pretty uncomfortable video to watch, as you can hear genuine fear in the young boy's voice while he points toward the elf. If you look carefully, you can see what appears to be the elf's foot moving. What's interesting is that the movement seems somewhat independent from the rest of the elf, making it stand out to many viewers. At first glance, it's easy to see why the boy thought something strange was happening. A second video was posted later on in which the boy's mother offered an explanation for what happened.
Okay, so here's the mischievous little elves. The night prior, we had them swinging from the ceiling fan by a string, and if you zoom in there, you'll see the string wrapped around the candle. So he was literally just dangling there. So when my son was swinging his little stuffed Charizard around, he was making air movement, which made the elf move.
According to her, the elf was hanging from a string, and the movement was likely caused by her son swinging his teddy bear around nearby, rather than anything paranormal. However, many people in the comments weren't completely convinced. Some pointed out that the movement of the elf appeared slower and more deliberate than they would expect if it was simply reacting to the motion of the teddy bear. Whether the mother's explanation fully solves the mystery or not is up for debate, but it certainly adds an interesting layer to the story. So, what do you think happened here? Was the elf simply reacting to movement in the room, or was there something else going on entirely? The footage we're about to watch was filmed on April 21, 2006, inside the Valentine Museum, located in Victor, New York. The grainy video shows an investigator making their way through the museum, but it doesn't take very long at all for things to become more than a little eerie. Right around here, something very strange appears to manifest in front of the camera, creating a moment that has puzzled viewers for nearly 2 decades. The uploader later explained that they showed the footage to several people with experience in the field, none of whom could offer a satisfactory answer for what was captured. According to the story, a television photographer even enhanced the footage and allegedly confirmed that it appeared authentic and showed no signs of being tampered with. Whether those conclusions are accurate or not is difficult to verify today, but the story has certainly helped keep interest in the footage alive over the years. And despite this video now being 20 years old, there still doesn't seem to be any widely accepted answer for what exactly happened inside the Valentine Museum that day. So, what do you think was captured here? Was it a genuine paranormal event? Or is there another possibility that simply hasn't been considered yet? A woman named Ricky Hill posted a video to her TikTok account in June of 2025 and walks viewers through a very bizarre and creepy incident that allegedly happened inside her home back in 2019. The home security camera footage starts off relatively uneventful, but within seconds, things begin to feel much more unsettling.
You will see as the light dims and then brightens, and then it will dim again, and then it will brighten again. And if you look past, like towards the kitchen area, right about, let's see, one more time maybe. Right now, you'll see her. You can see her coming through. She comes, turns around, walks past towards the kitchen area again, and then you'll see an orb dip out at the end. Also, if your brightness is not turned up, make sure to turn that up or else you can miss her.
As you can see, the lights inside the house continuously dim and brighten over and over again, creating a pretty eerie atmosphere throughout the footage. But that isn't even the strangest part of the video. Right around here, what appears to be some kind of ghostly woman can briefly be seen walking through the house, passing by the kitchen area, before seemingly disappearing from view. The figure is faint, but visible enough to immediately stand out once you notice it moving through the frame. In the description of the post, Ricky claims that the woman's name was Mary, and says she used to live in the house next door. According to the story, Mary was allegedly involved in an affair with multiple men, including one who supposedly lived in the very house Ricky now lives in. Ricky also claims that Mary's husband later found out and allegedly ended up killing the man. Unfortunately, Ricky never shared where this information came from, or whether any of the story could actually be verified. Even so, if there's any truth to it at all, it definitely adds another layer of unease to the footage. Of course, there's also the possibility that the figure is simply a trick of lighting, camera exposure, or video compression, especially with the lights flickering throughout the clip. Still, the way the shape moves through the kitchen makes the footage difficult to completely ignore. So, what do you think was captured inside Ricky's home? Was this really the spirit of someone connected to the house, or just an eerie coincidence caught on camera? I think it's pretty safe to say that many people don't find hospitals to be very comforting places. As a matter of fact, a lot of people find them pretty unsettling. If you're one of those people, then this video we're about to look at probably won't help much. The video was posted to the Paranormal Encounters subreddit by a user known as NoTower5558 and showcases the 4th floor of an undisclosed hospital that was apparently closed down many years ago. According to the uploader, security experienced this while doing their rounds.
You need to come to 369 because we're experiencing a ghost.
Big time.
Literally.
Jeez, oh, yeah, there it goes.
Seriously, come look at this.
So if you know it, say hi.
Ethel,
Paul?
Ethel, what's wrong with you tonight? What? What's wrong, Ethel?
Where is the
As you can see throughout the video, multiple lights can be seen flickering on and off in the room. At one point, a television even appears to turn on by itself. What also makes the footage interesting is that the hospital workers can be heard asking, "Ethel, what's wrong with you tonight?" implying this may not be the first strange incident they've experienced on the abandoned floor. The atmosphere of the video alone is enough to make it feel eerie, especially knowing the area has supposedly been closed off for years. Of course, there could still be more ordinary explanations behind some of what's happening, especially in an older hospital where electrical issues wouldn't exactly be uncommon. Even so, the workers' reactions make it seem like this wasn't entirely normal to them either. So, who exactly is Ethel, and why do the workers seem so familiar with these strange occurrences? Whatever the explanation may be, it's definitely a creepy video to watch late at night. A woman on TikTok known as Peach Assassin posted a video captured on her home security camera system that shows her simply relaxing and watching TV at around 3 o'clock in the morning when suddenly something very strange happens.
Adopting 7. This is ridiculous. Don't make me think about numbers again. A brave and accurate decision. Yes, my captain.
Right around the 5-second mark, the uploader's hair appears to get pulled upward by an unseen force. She notices it immediately and quickly turns around trying to figure out what just happened, but there doesn't seem to be anyone else nearby. Her reaction is what really makes the moment stand out, as she looks genuinely startled by whatever she felt. A second video was later posted to her account, this time showing another odd incident taking place inside the house. Right around here, several books can be seen falling from a shelf and landing on the floor, seemingly all by themselves. The fact that both videos were recorded inside the same home is what many viewers found especially interesting, leading some to wonder if the two incidents could somehow be connected. Not everyone is convinced, of course. Without seeing what happened outside the frame, it's difficult to know exactly what caused either event. Even so, both clips are unusual enough to have left plenty of people scratching their heads. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem as though the uploader ever discovered what was behind either of these incidents. So, what do you think was happening inside this house? Was it a spirit making its presence known, or something else entirely? Over on TikTok, a man named Nolan Brock posted a video to his account back in February of 2023 that showcases a piece of home security camera footage taken inside his living room. Nolan says he had accidentally fallen asleep on the couch at the time of the recording and mentioned that when he reviewed the footage afterward, it genuinely terrified him. At first, we can hear strange noises coming from the doors as they slowly begin moving on their own. Nolan appears to wake up briefly and look around before eventually falling back asleep on the couch. A little while later, the footage cuts ahead to another moment when Nolan is asleep once again. This time, one of the doors suddenly slams shut loudly, instantly jolting him awake in confusion as he tries to figure out what just happened. The build-up beforehand is what makes the clip feel especially unsettling. The doors don't immediately slam shut right away, but instead seem to move gradually at first before the louder incident happens later on. It's easy to see why some viewers interpreted this as some kind of paranormal activity, especially with how forcefully the door closes the second time around. Of course, there could still be a more ordinary explanation behind what happened, whether it was airflow inside the house or something else off camera that isn't obvious from the footage alone. Even so, the way the door moves and eventually slams shut still looks fairly unnatural, which is a big part of why the clip unsettled so many viewers. So, what do you think happened here? Was this some kind of ghostly encounter, or just a strange coincidence caught on camera? On December 25th, 2025, a TikTok account known as Urban Explorers posted a video showing them wandering through a forest when they suddenly came across a strange hole in the ground. Curious about what might be inside, they decided to climb down and explore the tunnel-like area beneath it, which, as you might expect, turned out to be a pretty bad idea. According to the explorers, they immediately started feeling uneasy once they entered the tunnel, even mentioning that it felt like they were having a panic attack while walking through the area. Despite that feeling, they continued deeper inside. Then, right around the 18-second mark, if you look carefully toward the end of the tunnel, you can make out what appears to be some kind of pale face, staring directly back at them from the darkness. The figure is difficult to fully make out, but is visible enough to immediately stand out once you notice it. It's easy to see why some viewers found the clip genuinely creepy, especially because the face appears surprisingly clear once spotted. Of course, there's also the possibility that the entire thing was staged or edited as a hoax. At the same time, if the face hadn't actually been added in afterward, it does raise the question of how the uploader supposedly never noticed something so obvious while filming and editing the video. So, what do you think was hiding at the end of that tunnel? Was it simply a hoax or something far creepier? Natalie Hopkins runs a YouTube channel where she typically posts videos of herself exploring abandoned buildings and other allegedly haunted locations, documenting her experiences for her audience. The video we'll be looking at today sees her traveling to Bel Air, Ohio, to investigate reports of paranormal activity inside the supposedly haunted Roz house. The video itself is over an hour long and contains a number of eerie moments, but perhaps the most intriguing occurs around the 44-minute mark. Natalie and several others are sitting in the basement attempting to communicate with a possible spirit when suddenly this happens.
Could you give us a sign if anyone is here? Maybe one of the balls, light them up, move them. Could you give us a sign if anyone is here? Maybe one of the balls, light them up, move them. Could you give us a sign if anyone is here? Maybe one of the balls, light them up.
Out of nowhere, Natalie's blouse appears to move on its own, almost as if something is tugging on it. What's particularly interesting is her immediate reaction. She quickly notices the movement and turns around looking genuinely confused by what just happened. The timing of the moment is what makes it stand out. The group is actively attempting to communicate with the spirit when the movement occurs, making it easy to see why some viewers believe they may have received a response. At the same time, moments like this are always open to interpretation, especially when viewed through a camera. Still, the movement is unusual enough that it has sparked plenty of discussion among viewers. As for what may have caused Natalie's blouse to move, that's something we'll probably never know for certain. So, what do you think happened in the basement of the Ross house that night? Was it a genuine paranormal encounter or something else entirely? On February 7th, 2026, a TikTok user known as Paranormal Empress posted a video to her account explaining that she was simply trying to take a picture to show her husband that the kitchen light had been left on, when much to her surprise, she captured this. It's hard to deny just how eerie the image looks. The figure definitely resembles a person, but at the same time, there's something about it that feels strangely off, almost like some kind of ghostly apparition standing in the room. The shape of the face and body are faint, yet still clear enough to immediately catch your attention once you notice them in the photo. The uploader goes on to say that, in her opinion, the figure resembles Anne Boleyn, who she claims is actually one of her relatives. When placing the two images side by side, there does appear to be at least some resemblance between the faces. Some viewers believe the image could simply be a hoax, with the ghostly figure digitally edited into the photo afterward. That said, others feel the image looks convincing enough to at least make them question it. So, what do you think was captured in this photo? Could it really be some kind of ghostly figure, or is there another explanation behind the image? This eerie video was posted to TikTok on February 11th, 2026 by a user known as Joda Wheels, and showcases footage filmed by his mother back in 2019, who seemingly encountered something strange while simply trying to relax at home one night. Even though the footage is fairly blurry and difficult to make out clearly, if you look closely right around here, you can see what appears to be some kind of ghostly head peering down from the ceiling. The figure is only visible for a brief moment, but once you notice it, it becomes pretty hard to ignore. What makes the clip especially unsettling is the positioning of the face itself, almost as if something is watching from above in complete silence. Of course, there could still be another explanation behind what's being seen in the footage, especially given the low quality of the video. Even so, the shape visible near the ceiling definitely gives the clip a creepy atmosphere, Unfortunately, it's unclear what happened after the video ended, but hopefully Joe's mother never had to experience anything like this again. So, what do you think was captured in this video? Was it really some kind of ghostly figure or just a trick of the lighting and camera quality? TikTok user WillowHunter74 says that on the night of March 12th, 2026, they were suddenly awoken at around 3 o'clock in the morning after thinking they heard the downstairs tap running. Curious and a little unsettled, Willowhunter decided to check the home security camera footage to see if anything unusual had happened during the night. This is what was reportedly captured. The footage first shows a teddy bear suddenly falling from a chair, before a short while later a nearby door opens on its own. Neither moment is especially dramatic on its own, but together they create a pretty eerie atmosphere, especially knowing the incident supposedly happened in the middle of the night while everyone was asleep. Unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot of extra context provided with the video beyond the uploader hearing what sounded like running water earlier that night. Of course, there could still be other explanations behind what's happening in the footage. Even so, seeing both incidents happen in the same clip is enough to make the video feel unsettling. So, what do you think was happening inside Willowhunter's house that night? Could this really have been paranormal activity, or just a strange coincidence caught on camera? This next video is only a couple of seconds long, but that's more than enough time for it to leave viewers scratching their heads. The video was posted to TikTok by user Midget87 and shows footage from what is presumably the uploader's front yard in the middle of the night. Everything seems quiet and uneventful until suddenly this happens. Right around here, a very tall figure can be seen walking across the yard before disappearing from view just a few seconds later. What immediately stands out is the apparent height of the figure. According to the uploader, the fence visible in the footage stands around 6 feet tall, which would make the figure appear significantly taller than an average person. The movement itself is also unusual. The figure doesn't seem to stop or react to anything, instead continuing across the yard. Some viewers have even suggested that the figure resembles one of the many tall humanoid entities often reported in paranormal stories and urban legends. Without additional footage or context, it's difficult to know exactly what we're looking at. Even so, if the fence really is 6 feet tall, the apparent size of the figure is what continues to catch people's attention. Sadly, there isn't much context available beyond what we see in the video itself, but there definitely appears to be something moving through the uploader's yard that doesn't look quite right. So, what do you think was captured here? Was it really some kind of ghostly entity or something else entirely? This next video comes to us from the UFO subreddit and was reportedly posted to Telegram by Ukrainian Defense Ministry advisor Serhiy Flash Biskresnov. According to Biskresnov, the footage was sent to him by military personnel and was allegedly filmed in May of 2025 at an altitude of around 800 meters. What's particularly interesting is that Biskresnov claims this isn't the first time he's dealt with reports like this. In a previous statement, he explained that after publishing footage of an unidentified object observed by aerial reconnaissance units in 2023, he was contacted by representatives of a government agency that had reportedly been studying such phenomena in Ukraine since Soviet times. He also stated that since the outbreak of the war, investigating unidentified objects in Ukrainian airspace has become more of a military concern than a civilian one, noting that what might initially be classified as a UFO could potentially turn out to be a previously unknown weapon system. With that context in mind, let's take a look at the footage. I have to admit there's something about this video that's difficult to put into words. The object itself has a very unusual appearance, and the overall atmosphere of the footage gives it a distinctly unsettling feeling. A lot of people in the comments seem to have had a similar reaction, with many pointing out just how strange the object looks compared to more familiar aircraft or drones. At the same time, without additional information, it's impossible to know exactly what we're looking at here. Given the ongoing conflict in the region, there are plenty of possibilities that can be ruled out. Whatever the case may be, it's certainly a fascinating piece of footage. So, what do you think was captured here? Could this be some kind of experimental technology, an unidentified aerial phenomenon, or something else entirely? Be sure to leave your theories in the comments.
Is anybody up here?
A man is searching his own attic when something terrifying happens. Ryan lives in a house that backs onto national forest in the Appalachian Mountains, and for the first 4 or 5 years on the property, everything was completely normal. Then he started hearing things from his shed, a feeling of being watched whenever he walked near it, strange noises drifting out of the attic space above, the kind of low-level wrongness that wouldn't go away. Set up a camera pointed at the entrance to the attic and let it roll. What he caught on the recording over the next minute is genuinely difficult to dismiss. But the worst of it was still to come. Ryan's first thought was that something had gotten into the attic, but what he heard didn't sound like any animal he could place. The footage didn't stop there. Ryan's interior shed cameras caught something else entirely. The footage continues. And his outdoor cameras picked up something stranger.
Then there's the local context.
According to Ryan, a story had been circulating in the area for a few days at the time. A 7-year-old boy had reportedly gone missing while playing near a lake with other children.
It was like 4 or 5 kids. They were playing out here, going fishing and everything. And the kid fell in about right here. If you look down at the bottom, you can barely see, but this is only about 3 or 4 feet deep at the max.
The boy fell into the water, but the lake was only 3 or 4 feet deep. The other kids jumped in to look for him and couldn't find him. Adults arrived, search boats went out, and the boy was still nowhere.
Jumping in, looking for him and everything, and none of them can find him. It's like he completely vanished. It's like he was wiped off the face of the earth.
4 or 5 days later, the boy was reportedly found alive over 100 miles from the lake, knocking on a stranger's front door in the middle of the night.
They found this young boy 120 miles away from here on somebody's front porch in the middle of last night asking for help.
Ryan stresses the story is alleged, but he can't shake it.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? I'm glad he's safe, but no one can figure out what the hell just happened.
In this clip, Ryan finally works up the courage to climb into the attic himself. What he filmed up there is the footage we opened with.
Is anybody up here? Oh my God. Is anybody up here?
You can see something moving in the dark.
Hey, is it?
Oh my
In this final clip, Ryan decides to fully investigate the area. With the camera still rolling, he searches the space.
Boxes, wood. I mean, this stuff is old, bro. What is this? Rebuild, 2000 what? 2013.
He finds nothing up there. No animal, no person, no nest, no explanation.
This stuff is old. I mean, from whatever the video sounds like, I don't even know how you can make this much noise up here.
So, whatever's living above his shed in the Appalachian woods doesn't seem interested in being found.
Hey, is it?
Oh my
A Reddit user known as TrainingBeat7600 posted video to the popular ghost subreddit that has been freaking people out ever since it got uploaded 5 months ago. The uploader explains that he recently moved into an apartment/house that was built in 1912 after the old tenant suddenly left. He then goes on to say that he did some research and eventually he ended up doing a spirit box session, and it kept saying fire, fire, fire. As it turns out, the basement of the place had an accidental fire around 1965. Here's the video that the uploader recorded one day in which he ended up capturing something truly fascinating.
It's fucking moving. Look. It's my hand.
As you can see, a guitar that is hanging on the wall suddenly begins to move all by itself, much to the shock and awe of the uploader who isn't sure what to do other than stand still. While it may not be the most exciting video out there, it definitely gives you the chills and leaves you to think about what you would do if you were to ever find yourself in a situation such as this one. A TikTok user known as Paraworld posted the following video that was filmed on a nanny cam. The adorable footage shows a dad playing a game of hide and seek with his wife and child. However, instead of finding one of them, he ends up finding something much more unsettling. Take a look.
These 5 Chill.
I know, but we're downstairs.
Heart attack here.
Oh, this is stressing me out.
You're stressed out.
Right about here, you can see the closet door open by itself, and a disembodied voice can be heard saying the word "hi." The father is then shown on camera investigating the closet, but is unable to find the source of the voice, nor why the door opened all by itself. The video then ends abruptly, leaving us to wonder what happened next. This would surely be quite a traumatic experience for not only the father and mother here, but also for the child, who will probably never want to play a game of hide and seek ever again and fear this happening again. It's sad to think that one incident can ruin a child's perception of fun this way, but this video is just a stark reminder that our world that we live in is a strange one and isn't as carefree and easygoing as we would all like to think it is. A man named Alex Shaw posted 2 videos to his TikTok account in April of 2024, in which he showcases some security camera videos that were filmed on his property that seem to suggest that someone that tried to rob his house may have also been a time traveler. Let's back up though. In the first video, Alec explains that his security camera positioned outside his house shows the intruder wandering around his backyard, seeming to look around for something. At one point in the video, the strange man proceeds to enter Alec's shed. Alec then explains that he fast-forwarded the footage, and it appears as though the intruder never leaves the shed whatsoever. Alec even proceeded to go on the camera's microphone to try to talk to the man, asking him why he's in his shed and what he wants with him, but doesn't get any response. It was at this point in which Alec called the police, and they then showed up, as you can see on the footage. The police wander around through the backyard and proceed to enter the shed, but the intruder is not there. In the second video that Alec posted, he shows footage that was filmed on his security camera system the next day. He says that he got a notification on his phone that there was somebody in his backyard. Then, out of nowhere, this guy can be seen leaving his shed, looking right at the camera as he walks by. The craziest part, however, is that the guy that leaves the shed looks almost identical to the guy that entered the shed in the previous video, just significantly older. A lot of people in the comments are suggesting that Alec installed a camera positioned somewhere hidden in the shed, which I think sounds like an excellent idea. If this video is indeed real, then it is one of the most baffling yet fascinating things I've seen. A Reddit user known as Everything's Fine uploaded a video to his account and ended up sharing it to the UFO subreddit, where a lot of people are speculating on what he ended up capturing on camera. The uploader writes that his parents woke him up in the morning to show him what they saw outside. He says that his parents are the furthest thing from believers and oftentimes call him crazy for believing in aliens and UFOs. However, it seems as though this particular situation caused them to believe a bit more, and it's not hard to see why. Watch this.
is that?
As you can see in the footage, which was filmed in the South Philadelphia, New Jersey region, a strange, unidentified aerial phenomena can be seen up above, much to the confusion of the folks on the ground. There's also another view of the light here. With the strong swirling blue light, the videographer was able to film the unidentified flying object. There have been 2 more sightings of this kind in Scottsdale and Hawaii as well. Something else that's interesting to note is that 4 years ago, another similar UAP was recorded that looks like 2 snakes in the sky, located in New Jersey as well. Take a look at the breathtaking footage.
Where is it? Oh shit, it's coming down. It's coming down. Holy shit.
Yeah, I have no idea. Wow, look at that, it's moving. It's so weird. You can see the planes going, but the light is, it's kind of like streaking. It's so weird. And the camera is like,
Mine's bugged now.
yeah, the camera is not.
We then go back even further, as this next video that you're about to watch was filmed 10 years ago. The description of the video reads as follows, quote, "After arriving from work today, I proceeded to sit on my front porch here in East Los Angeles and proceeded to summon. A few minutes later, I noticed with the naked eye a white object next to the moon. I zoomed in with my camcorder and noticed it was a white Ibanez UFO. This is the second Ibanez I have filmed. My first Ibanez was the orange tube one from last year. This video is 11 minutes long. I did not shorten this video as I would like everyone to know how these crafts move in many intelligent angles and also form different shapes." End quote. So, what do you guys think about this interesting story? Do these videos make you more of a believer than before? Be sure to share your thoughts on this story in the comments below. This next post comes to us from the popular paranormal subreddit and was uploaded by a user known as Tom Tanker, who showcases some rather bizarre and unsettling footage that was filmed on security camera outside of his home late at night. In the video, we watch footage being filmed to the side of the uploader's house when suddenly, the peace of the night is interrupted when this happens. A strange, small entity can be seen walking beside the uploader's house for a couple of seconds, before eventually disappearing from view entirely. The uploader writes that he personally thinks that it's a little kid in a costume wandering around, but his parents think that it could be some sort of an animal. However, he also mentions that the entity is shown running around on 2 legs and disappearing into thin air right at the end of the video, which is obviously something that animals are not able to do. To this day, the mystery has not been solved, and neither the uploader nor his parents have any other sort of explanation that they can think of, so I'm curious as to what you guys think this could be. Do you believe that this is just a little kid wandering around late at night? Is this some sort of a bizarre animal that's running on 2 legs? Or do you think this is something much creepier, such as a ghost or an unknown creature? Be sure to let me know your opinion in the comments. Over on TikTok, a woman named Noni posted a video of her 11-year-old son that freaked out her entire viewer base, and you're about to find out why. She says that one day he woke up and decided to make some noodles for lunch so he could take it to school. It was at this point in which the boy told Noni that he heard a voice coming from the cabinets that said to him, "How did you find me?" He then ran upstairs and came busting into Noni's room, screaming and hiding, saying that he didn't want to die and that somebody was in the house. Noni then tried to calm him down, but it wasn't working too well. Then she called her father and explained the situation to him, and then put her son in the room with his brother to see if that would calm him down. It was here, however, in which Noni started to hear extremely loud and heavy footsteps coming from nearby. She then started to slowly make her way downstairs and checked several areas of the house, but she didn't manage to find anything. She then proceeded to walk into other areas of the house with a hammer equipped, but didn't manage to find anything. She reported about this back to her son, and he then told her to check the cameras, swearing that he wasn't lying about there being someone in the house, which she did. This is the footage that was filmed. If you listen carefully, you should be able to make out some creepy woman's voice saying very quietly, "How did you find me?" just as the young boy said. However, to this day, the mystery has not been solved and the family cannot figure out who said this. Let's just hope that this family is safe. Either way, I think some people would consider finding a new home if they found out their house was haunted. This video was posted to TikTok by a man named Rayo, who filmed some security camera footage that was positioned in the hallway of his office building, which showcases something genuinely horrifying. Although the video initially appears to be rather uneventful, that all changes within just a couple of seconds when out of nowhere this happens.
It looks like she's floating, Bob. Is that it?
Oh god, that gives me the creeps.
Yep.
Did you see it? If you look just carefully enough, you should be able to make out what appears to be a ghost floating around the building before eventually moving out of view. Discovering a ghost haunting your office building would be quite the chilling revelation, sending shivers down your spine. The once mundane and familiar environment would then be turned into an eerie landscape where every shadow holds the potential for supernatural encounters. Tasks that once felt routine now become fraught with anxiety as the presence of the ghost looms over your every move, unseen but undeniably felt. I think most people would have a hard time returning to work if they found out their workplace was haunted. When working and/or living on a farm, you expect to be surrounded by a ton of animals, but you surely would not expect to encounter something unexplainable. However, a TikTok user known as Gallo805 found himself in quite the scary situation while out on his farm one morning. The video that Gallo recorded was filmed at 5:55 in the morning and shows something that nobody would ever want to see anywhere near them. Watch this. In the mist, far off in the distance, you can make out what some say appears to be some sort of a skinwalker moving around throughout the fields before the video eventually ends, leaving us all to wonder what exactly it is that we just saw. The figure in question appears to be completely dark and pretty lanky, which is quite freaky. A lot of people in the comments are comparing Gallo's situation to that of the movie Jeepers Creepers 2, where a terrifying creature wreaks havoc and goes on a rampage in a farm-like area. Whatever this strange entity turns out to be, let's just hope that Gallo is safe where he is and that this eerie being doesn't try to put him in harm's way. Imagine you're just laying around in bed trying to get some rest, when your adorable pet kitty seems to be looking around for something, and you're not sure what. That's the situation that TikTok user It's BB found herself in on January 21st, 2023. The video shows her laying in bed while filming her cats on the ground, who are adorably mosting around, seemingly trying to search for something. However, this seemingly cute and wholesome video is about to take a seriously strange and sinister turn in just a matter of seconds. Take a look at the curtain right about here and see if you notice anything strange happening. Did you see it? If you look just hard enough, you should be able to make out what appears to be a creepy pair of glowing eyes emerging from underneath the curtain before eventually disappearing into thin air. A lot of people in the comments seem to be completely baffled by this strange footage, and it's not hard to see why. The owner, EB, mentioned in the comments as well that there were no stairs behind the curtain, and that the other cat is facing towards a different room, so it wasn't her. She also goes on to say that Lady, the white and black cat, went into a dark area of the staircase, so there is no way for her eyes to be reflected that brightly, as shown in the footage. So, what could possibly be going on here? If you guys have any sort of theory for this, be sure to let me know in the comments below.